In this video, we'll see how to create the call setup. We will cover these topics: how to create rate table, client, vendor, and their trunks, routings, etc. We'll also make live calls for the setup created, and we'll check CDRs and reports for the traffic. Now let's log into the switch and start. First step, we will start with creating rate table. To create rate table, go to Routing, Rate Table. Rate table window will appear. Click on Create New button to create a new rate table. Now enter the rate table name. Select rate type for rate table. We will use A to Z as rate type for this rate table. Billing method we will use is DNIS and codec as A to Z for this rate table. Click on the Create New button. A row will appear below. Enter the code, code name, country name, rates for the destination code, set effective date, and click on Submit button. Switch shows Success pop-up. Our rate table has been created successfully. So we have created one rate table. We will create one rate table, one for client and one for vendor. We will follow the same procedure for creating rate table for client previously we had created for vendor. So now we have created rate table for client and vendor both. Now we will go and check them. So here it is, Premium AZ Client for client and Premium AZ Vendor for vendor. To create a vendor, go to Termination, Vendor. Vendor window will appear. Click on Create New button to create vendor. New vendor window will appear. Fill out the basic info of vendor company. Enter name of the vendor, main email address of the vendor company, and NOC department. Status of vendor account should be active. Enter call and CPS limit if you need to bound a limit on it. Next section is company info. Enter the company name, billing department, rates department email address, and address of the vendor company. Next sections are self-service portal and notification settings for vendor. You can enable them from here. Click on Submit button to create vendor. Click on Submit and create trunk to create vendor, and proceed to create egress trunk. Welcome letter pop-up will appear. Depends on you if you want to send email or not. New egress trunk page will appear. We will fill out egress trunk details. Enter the egress trunk name for vendor. Set up call and CPS limit. PDD timeout for egress trunk. Set up media type, i.e. proxy and bypass media. Set up min and max duration. Ring timer and minimum profitability for egress trunk status should be active to keep egress trunk active. Select the rate table from drop-down for egress trunk. Scroll down below and click on Add Host and add IP address in the egress trunk for vendor. Click on Submit button to create egress trunk. Success pop-up will appear, shows the egress trunk for vendor is created successfully. We will create dynamic routing. To go to the section, click on Routing, Dynamic Routing. Dynamic routing window will appear. Click on Create New button and enter details for new dynamic routing. Fill out name. Select the routing rule to be used. Select vendor and egress trunk which needs to be used in dynamic routing, and hit Submit to save the dynamic routing. Success pop-up will appear, shows the dynamic routing is created successfully. Dynamic routing will be added in Routing Plan. Click on Routing, Routing Plan. Routing Plan window will appear. Click on Create New button. A row will be added below for adding Routing Plan. Enter the name of Routing Plan and click on Save button. Routing Plan will get added successfully and automatically get opened. Set up the routing plan, set up length, and choose route type to be used in Routing Plan. We will select Dynamic Routing in Route Type and choose from drop-down which we have created earlier, and click on Save button to save routing rule under Routing Plan. Now we will move to the next step, i.e. creating client. Go to Termination, Client. Customer list window will appear. Click on Create New button and set up client details. Fill out the basic info of client. Enter name of the client. Set up main email address, and NOC department of the client company status should be active. Set up call and CPS limit for client. Select mode of payment, i.e. prepaid and postpaid. We will choose prepaid and add test credit for client, and proceed to next section, i.e. company info. Enter the company info details here. Enter company name, billing and rates, department email address, tax ID of client, and address of the client company. Now we'll scroll to the next section, i.e. automatic report, short call charge, auto invoice, self-service portal, and notification setting. This can be set up by enabling them. Click on Submit button to create client. Click on Submit and Create Trunk to create client, and proceed to create Ingress Trunk. Welcome letter pop-up will appear. Depends on you if you want to send email or not. New Ingress Trunk page will appear. Enter the name of Ingress Trunk. Set up call and CPS limit, PDD timeout, media type, minimum and max duration, ring timer, and min profitability for the trunk. Status of trunk should be active. Click on Add Host and add IP address for the Ingress Trunk. Click on Add Routing and Tech Prefix. Select the rate table and routing plan which we have created earlier for client. Click on Submit to save the Ingress Trunk for client. Success pop-up will appear which shows the Ingress Trunk is created successfully. Go to Tools, Call Simulation. Call Simulation window will appear. Select the Ingress Trunk. It will automatically fetch the host of Ingress Trunk. Enter ANI and DNIS and hit Submit button to check call simulation. Call simulation done successfully, and we can see here the details of our call setup. This section's all the information. Release cause shows normal, which means the calls will be passed successfully using the setup. Now we'll make live calls on the setup to check if it works or not. We'll add necessary details in My Call Tester and proceed. Now we'll check CDRs of the live calls we tested on the setup. First, we'll check on Dashboard. Go to Statistics, Termination Dashboard. Dashboard is showing data for the live calls. Number count showing for channel and CPS used for live call. Graph is also showing live connected calls, CPS, and channels. Now we will check live calls on Report section. Go to Statistics, Active Call Report. Select the inbound customer on which we have passed the live traffic and hit Submit button. We will scroll down below and check the live running calls. As you can see, live call data is showing the same ANI and DNS which we had used on call simulation. Egress and ingress carrier for which we have created set up earlier. Now we will check CDRs for the live running calls. Go to Statistics, Termination CDRs. CDR window will appear. Click on More option and select client for which we have live traffic. Now scroll down below and hit on Submit button to search for CDRs. Switch started searching for CDRs, and few seconds later, it shows relevant CDRs. Now we'll check reports for our recent live traffic. To check this, go to Statistics, Summary Report. Summary Report window will appear. Now we'll select the client on Inbound Filter section and hit Submit button to search for reports. Summary reports will appear for the recent traffic.